Not long after I bought my DR-Z4S, I added the Suzuki DC Power Port accessory kit. So you can see here that it's not mounted like all of the Suzuki information shows. I have it flipped over this way, so it's kind of over the ignition switch because I have the type of hand guards that I use, plus I have my roll chart holder here. So the way that connects is right here. I actually have it unplugged right now. So the reason it's unplugged is I obtained a little prototype wiring pigtail Y splitter for this Suzuki Accessory Power Port. So we're going to go ahead and get that installed real quick, and I'll show you a little bit about it. I contacted Cyclops Lighting in Kent, Washington, and had them fabricate this for me. So I sent them the specifications, or at least some photos of the wiring connector, so that they could match it up with what they had in their collection of electrical accessories. So what we've got here, this looks to be a three-way splitter. So this connects to the factory wiring accessory port, and then I will plug my DC power port in here, and then we've got two other connectors. We have a pair of positive, negative, and then another pair of positive, negative, and then these are set up so that you can plug bullet connectors into them. And I'll show you the bullet connector kit that I have that I could easily install onto other accessories and then connect those here. Each of these is a tandem bullet connector receptacle. This is the kit that I have. I'll have an Amazon affiliate link down in the description below for this, but it comes with silver color, brass colored male and female receptacles, plus all the little rubber boots that go over each of your styles of connectors. I also have a link to a crimp tool that you can use to install these on your accessories. Check out also, I will have a link to a video down in the description below where I installed some of these on some accessory wiring that I did when I added a Tusk accessory power block to my Ibex 450. Let's take a look at a plug-in USB style power port that I bought here for a different application, but it works equally well in the power port on the DR-Z4S, and this is something I would highly recommend buying if you've got the DC power port on your DR-Z4S or SM. I'll actually again have an Amazon affiliate link down in the description below, but this is a power delivery capability, which means it's a higher output than your typical USB port. So we have two USB-C and then a USB-A port right at the top. So let's go ahead and look at it. It's Ugreen is the brand. It's 130 watt. And it's got a variety of power output options here. Let's zoom in on the specs and I'll show you that. You can go ahead and pause the video to get a closer look at this. The total power output is 130 watts. So my reasoning for using this, even though I had bought it for a different application, is that I wanted to be able to quickly get power to my GPS over the last couple of weeks of riding that I have done on my DR-Z4S. It works really good. I never did have it come loose and draw power to the GPS, so it's been through some pretty rigorous testing over a couple of different rides. So with this guy, I can get permanent power to the GPS instead of having a USB cable running to the GPS through this. And then having the bullet connectors will allow me to move the GPS base unit from one bike to another. It gets expensive buying a power lead and the Garmin base mount for the Zumo XT or XT2, and I've already got two of those, and I did not want to buy a third one. I'm slowly getting it installed. I've actually had to pull this wire harness for my 12-volt pigtail back just a little bit. Here's the fuse holder that is part of that 12-volt power port. So I pulled that back out from behind the headlight, and that gave me a little bit more slack up here due to the relocation of my power port bracket. And then the rest of this, see, here's my white connector that's part of the pigtail, and then the power port is plugged into that, so I just kind of tuck that back in there. I did also have to add a fuse holder for my GPS pigtail because for whatever reason I cut that fuse holder off that came on that GPS wiring. So we're just going to hook my GPS positive power lead up here and then my negative up to one of these, and then we'll just sort of tuck everything back in here, and then we will get the headlight shroud reinstalled. So this is going to be a very nice clean setup for very low power draw accessories. If this little wire harness is something that you're interested in, be sure to contact Cyclops Adventure Sports through their website. It's cyclopsadventuresports.com, and then tell them that you watched the video on the little Y splitter harness for the DR-Z4S and SM that they made for dualsport Doug. And then if there's enough interest, they'll get this into production and then add it to their website so that it can be ordered. And once they do add it to their website and send me information about it, then I will add a link in the description below and also add a pinned comment with the link to the product.